about Dallas, make it hurt.
Ladies and gentlemen, here I am. It's Monday night. It's 7 p.m. The smoke is out, as you can see. Which means, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the one and the only. This is the big time show that is being seen and heard live everywhere as we speak on Facebook. It is on Twitch. It is on Twitter. It is on the YouTube page, the Big Time Show YouTube page. I hope you guys have had a great Monday. Hope you guys are relaxing. I'm quite sure some of you are getting ready to watch the Monday Night Football game between the Falcons and the Eagles tonight. But before we get engulfed in that, personally, I don't care nothing about the Philadelphia Eagles or the Atlanta Falcons. Two teams that we will see later this year. And I guess I will at some point start doing a little scouting myself slightly, but not tonight. My sole focus is, of course, to talk about the debacle that we saw yesterday where the New Orleans Saints just came in and just took over the entire state of Texas and totally just annihilated the Dallas Cowboys on yesterday. So I'm going to get into that obviously in just a second. I hope that you guys will share like I'm doing right now. If you don't mind, I hope that you will share to some of your Cowboy friends, and quite sure the haters will be in here before. I'm quite sure that today is National Dallas Cowboy Hate Day. Of course, they've been waiting. They didn't say nothing week one. Now they're coming from everywhere about how the Cowboys, it just comes along with the territory. When you've been doing this for, like I've been doing it for the last few years, kind of anticipate what your fan, your chats would be. A lot of people are celebrating already about it, and for good reason. I got to give it to them for good reason. As I said on yesterday on the post-game show, bottom line is that the Cowboys got their brains beat out. That is the truth. And we got to talk about it. We got to address this issue head on before we try to figure out solutions and all that type of stuff. We have got to figure out some real basic things. No question about it. What's up, Joe? I see you, man. What's going on? Appreciate you popping in on me on today. That's the only one that I see that has spoken. I hope that you guys will consider using the stars on Facebook if you're watching from there. Also, if you are there, I hope that you consider using on YouTube the super chat button. When you do use that, I will stop what I'm doing just to highlight what you said on there. All right. So, hope you enjoy that. We're getting ready to talk about what we saw yesterday. I've had a chance to look at some of the tape, not all of it, but some of it. And to be honest with you, I really didn't want to see too much because some things I didn't need tape to, to say what I'm getting ready to say. Yeah, I really didn't need. I really don't need that. Hey, Sean, how you doing, sir? Let's talk about it, and feel free to pop in with your comment. I can see it. We don't have a lot of people in here tonight so far, but usually I can see pretty much all of the comments until it's to really start getting flowing. So put in your comment, and we can roll like that. It's amazing to me, y'all, that y'all help me out. I've always heard the definition of insanity. And the last time I heard the definition, it was to say, if you're doing the same thing over and over again and you're expecting a different result, that is the definition of insanity, right? That's what I thought. And I'd be dang, I ain't gonna even lie to you. I'm seeing the same movies over and over again. I'm sorry. I don't know. Y'all may see something different, but I'm seeing some things that just is the same system, same way of doing things, same thing, same. No matter, it seems like even with the coaches, it's the same systematic approach. That's what I'm saying. Hey, Michael. Hey, Michael and William, what's going on? I'm saying the same thing. I'm still wrestling with the same questions that I've had for the last 5 to 6 years, if not longer. Can we stop the run? I'm still seeing the same movie of that we are front runners offensively. And if we get behind, we're just not built for the comeback. We don't have a style for coming back. We still want to throw short and sideways. We don't push the ball down the field. I'm still seeing the same things. And if I'm seeing the same things, then I'm trying to figure out, why should I expect anything differently? I've been saying the same thing, y'all. If you've been following my show, how many times have you heard me say this? Either we win spectacularly or we lose spectacularly. How many times have I said that over the years? I mean, it is the same. I mean, when we win, it's usually because, our offense have exploded, make teams play from behind. We make them one-dimensional. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They can't come back. We've taken away our Achilles heel when we blow people out, and that is we take away their running game by going up 25 or 30-point lead. You make them pass, and then here come the pass rush and all that. I mean, it's the same thing. And then when we lose spectacularly, we lose the same way that we beat people, except it's different. We cannot stop the run. We get blowed out of the water completely. And then the lately is horrible, the way that the team looks, as far as Like yesterday, things are just wide open. It's like you're getting out coached and out schemed. It just didn't happen with Mike Zimmer. It happened with Dan Quinn in the loss to Green Bay. The game looks the exact same than it was. I mean, no matter who you plug in, the Dallas Cowboys still have the same fundamental problem. They cannot stop the run, which is strange because in week 1, we stopped the run. We did. Had everybody believing, what change has been made. We had guys flying all over the place against Cleveland. And then yesterday, I don't know who that was out there. Nobody played a good game. Did DeMarcus Lawrence play yesterday? Did he suit up? I ain't heard his name the whole game. Michael Parsons, of course, was getting double and triple teamed, so they took him out of the game. Just running at him, running over him, and all that. I mean, saw that. Why? Somebody explain this to me. Why did DeMar and Overshown only play 17 snaps yesterday? What was that? After such a great game against Cleveland, where he led the team in tackles, why did he only play 17 snaps? I don't get that. That's why I want to start with right there. Your leading tackler from a week ago, who exploded off the field. Everybody saw him. Everybody was just like, oh my God. I even said, man, look, this dude is different. That's what I was saying. This dude is just flat out different. His speed is different. His suddenness is different. He hits people violently. You know what I'm saying? He's just different. And if he's that different, you just figure that he's going to be a factor in the game. And and I looked at it, and I didn't see him on the field a whole lot. And then when I really look at it and saw how many snaps he played, I said, what in the world is this? Did he go into the doghouse in 1 week? That's just speculation. I'm just throwing it out there. But there's no way in the world that DeMar and Overshown only supposed to have played 17 plays. Somebody need to explain that to me. And Mike McCarthy and Mike Zimmer answered questions today. Nobody answered that question. Nobody asked that question, I'm sorry. To Mike Zimmer. I don't know why he wasn't on there. And that's the first thing. And then I started trying to look. I'm going to tell y'all what I did. I started looking at the film. The reason why I say I only saw part of it, because I started looking. Hey, the Cowboys, what's going on? I started looking at it. I started watching it. And I just got so frustrated. I stopped watching the whole film. I did. I ain't gonna even lie to you. So I can't come in and dissect it, because if you don't watch football and if you played football, you know passion and you know aggression when you see it. See, I saw it against Cleveland. I don't know where that team went, because that defensive team I saw yesterday didn't look like week 1. And it ain't because the New Orleans Saints are so potent and unstoppable and all that. It's just that it was no fire, no aggression. See, it's basic stuff. That's why I say I don't even want to go through, pulling up plays so you can see and all that kind of stuff. See, this is what I've always heard. Y'all help me out, man. I always heard, and when I played, that when we start talking about stopping the run, it is an attitude. It's an attitude that you gotta have, especially when you got a team that's daring you and saying, we're just gonna run where we want, when we want, how we want, and you can't stop it. Somebody got to put some fire in their butt and get an attitude about this thing. There was no attitude, none. There was no encouragement on your team. It was nothing. Nobody. I don't know because I wasn't in the locker room at halftime. But if it was me, I would have thrown my helmet. I would have been hollering, screaming. I'd have been literally ticked off. I would have been. I would have been. I don't know. I don't know what happened. There was no attitude at all. All the film. We can't say that about the offense. The offense moved the ball. They did score points. They just didn't score touchdowns. They moved the ball. Our kicker had another great day, as usual. No surprise there. But as far as defense goes, we had absolutely no fire. What's up, Bang Bang? We had no fire at all on defense. None. And so, as I said yesterday, if you want to point the finger, I'm not going to be like all of y'all. Not all of y'all, but some people who, of course, take any opportunity to blame Dak Prescott for the loss. I'm not going to do that because you can't convince me of that, obviously, when you had, 5-6 straight touchdowns. That's if you're thinking that you're going to match score for score like that, that's not realistic in the NFL. Scoring 5 or 6 touchdowns, it shocked the Saints. Scoring that many touchdowns consecutively, that just don't happen. But when it does happen, something has to change. And so I didn't see. I heard Mike Zimmer today said that they got beat off the ball. Obviously, he said that they didn't use their hands. They were using their hands, more slowly than what they usually do. That's what he said. And I'm like, at some point, good Lord, can we get it? Does it take 4 quarters for you to finally figure that out? I would just love to be in the locker room to hear just to see the tone and the body language and what was said. Cause see, if it had been me coaching, I would have. This is what I would have said. I would have just asked in a calm voice before I started. I would have said, defense, if you have been a Pro Bowler or All-Pro, please raise your hand. And right then and there, I would have saw Michael Parsons' hand go up. I would have saw DeMarcus Lawrence's hands go up. I would have saw Joseph's hand go up. I would have saw Eric Kendrick's hands go up. That's 4. I would have saw Trayvon Diggs' hand go up. That's 5. I would have said right then and there, I would have threw something and said, I can't tell y'all play like y'all were Pro Bowlers or All Pros. Y'all playing like y'all trying to make the team, like y'all 3rd or 4th string. See, when you got Pro Bowlers and All Pros, all of them can't have a bad game at the same time. Somebody got to step up. Somebody got to lead. Somebody got to do something. Defensively, I ain't talking offensively. I'm saying this is nobody. Diggs getting destroyed. Carson nowhere to be found. Even when we ran the zone, they outran the zone. Hooker can't keep up. I mean, just a bomb over top of the head. I mean, Donovan Wilson, same thing. I'm saying you can't have, good Lord, how many combined I'm going simple stuff. How many combined All Pros and Pro Bowlers played last night? And when you see the score, just look at this. I'm going offense and defense. Dak Prescott, either All Pro or Pro Bowl. That's what I'm going with. Just last year. That's what I'm saying. Forget previous years. Let's go just last year. Okay. Dak Prescott, Tyler Smith, Zach Martin, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence. I'm just going off last year. I ain't talking about combined. DeMarcus Lawrence. That's it. I got 6. That's from last year's team. It was either All Pro or Pro Bowl. Now we start combining it all. You're gonna have about 17 guys. I can't tell, man. I can't tell. Somebody got to step up. Bland didn't play yesterday, William. I know he was an All Pro, but he didn't play yesterday. I'm talking about just from last year. I ain't talking about combined, because if I did that, then I had to say Diggs and all this. No, I'm just talking about last year. I got 6 guys who played yesterday. And one of those guys got to show up. Nobody showed up on defense. Now, here's the other thing. We drunk the Kool-Aid. Well, at least Mike Zimmer did. Because what the film showed, the little part, I was told you I was interested and I said I stopped. But the part that I looked at, I was interested to see how many times did we line up in man coverage instead of zone. And that is the reason why you saw all these wide open plays, because Mike Zimmer, for some reason, drunk the Kool-Aid like he got 2 Deion Sanders out there. And they just got baked, because all it did was run crossing routes. And if you don't get up on these guys on crossing routes, and you got guy that got speed like Chris Olave, and then the guy number 22, the guy that burnt us deep, something, you ain't gonna catch that if you playing off. If you're playing off, and then they run about a 5-6 yards crossing route, and you already giving cushion as it is, you're not gonna catch the crossing route because you're playing man. And he drunk the Kool-Aid. That's how the guys were wide open. They were wide open because we weren't in the zone. And I thought for sure that they were going to switch up and at least change that, and not at halftime. Once you saw Diggs getting beat, once you saw the other guys Carson getting beat, you should have started running and keeping everything in front of you, kind of like you did against Cleveland. He went man to man. And I'm like, no, you can't do that. So he drunk. I hope he vomited that mess out. That's what I hope. I hope he vomited that Kool-Aid out that he drunk. Because you can't do that. They can't. We can't guard. Everybody was wide open. Wide open. The run is the run. It just, that's all about want and attitude and passion and desire. One man saying he gonna push you out the way. You got to have enough, something in you to say, hey, that's not gonna happen. That's one thing. But on the back end, the secondary, where you just run it. I mean, guys just running wide open, 2-3 yard separation. Good Lord, we made David Carr look like John Elway. The man didn't even have to take a shower yesterday. He was too clean. Did he touch the ground? I mean, I know we got a sack. I'm trying to figure out when. I mean, did he, where was the pressure? I got DeMarcus Lawrence. I got Parsons. I got OC. That's ridiculous. Overshown on the bench. I don't understand the after watching the film and formulating your game plan. This was the game plan that you came up with. Now, here's the other reason why I turned off the tape. William already kind of put it in here. It's like he almost got my notes. It's the same old broken record, y'all. It's wrapped up in that statement right there. Have y'all noticed over the last, well, let me just limit it and just say, under the Mike McCarthy reign, when we play, well, let me go back. Mike McCarthy, to me, is a finesse. He's not Kellen Moore finesse, but he's better than Kellen Moore in his finesse-ness, if you let me say that. Okay. He's just a little, but overall, he's finesse. And when you look at his career, I mean, when you have Aaron Rodgers and you know he's your primary offensive weapon, you are going to pass the ball a lot. And when it comes to running the ball, even in Green Bay, he had some guys. You remember Eddie Lacy and the other guy that he had. They ran the ball in Green Bay because not more than throwing it. However, but in Green Bay, when it get cold there and the snow and all that stuff in Green Bay, you better run the ball. You ain't just finna line up the shotgun there. You got to pound the ball out. And he had the kind of running backs for that time that worked out. But make no mistake about it, it was an Aaron Rodgers-led team. His base formation back then was a 4 wide receiver set. I'm just telling you what I know. But he's more of a finesse play caller. And so when it's time to get physical, I've been saying it ever since he's been here, he nowhere to be found. And when we played a couple years ago, when we marched up there to Arizona, a team that shouldn't have been nowhere near on the field with us, and they destroyed us. I think they had 240 yards rushing against us and just beat our brains out because they played bully ball, physical ball. They destroyed us. We got embarrassed there. Okay, that's one. Notice the games I'm calling out, if y'all remember that. Watch this. The San Francisco game, playoff games and the regular season game, they all got the same movie. We got bullied. We got out physical. They punked us out. Arizona did it. All the games, whether it was in Dallas or San Francisco, playoff or regular season, it's the same blowout type win. Last year, when we went to San Francisco, do you remember how embarrassing that was? It looked just like yesterday. When we played Green Bay last year, it was the same thing in the playoff. The Green Bay game looked just like yesterday. Do you remember the Buffalo game from last year? When we went to Buffalo, it looked just like yesterday. But all the games I just called out are games where we have physically got totally destroyed. And we have these games maybe once or twice a year. And it just so happened to be at the wrong time, mostly in the playoffs, where we got out physical. It ain't just started with McCarthy. The same thing happened when we played the Rams in the playoff game. Y'all remember that? Remember they had 2 running backs, both over 100 yards. Just destroyed us, just out physical us. And we try to match physicality with finesse. That's where the problem is. So when it's time to lock in, buckle up your chin strap, knock folks' heads off, well, that ain't us. We too cute. We too cute. We way too cute, and it shows. And unfortunately for us, when you look at the schedule, as I said so many times, the schedule calls for us to be physical. See, I'm starting to see now. You can't call on what's not in you. The coaching staff is not. Zimmer is a physical type coach. I don't know what happened yesterday. William Kill say not signing Pollard was a big mistake. But here it is though, William. If we sign Pollard, guess what? That don't mean we were gonna run it. He don't run it enough. We had Pollard last year saying the same thing. He don't run the ball enough. So to just not signing Pollard, that wouldn't, I'm quite sure that would have had some impact, but we don't run it enough. We don't. He don't call running plays enough to establish physicality. He don't do it. He don't do it. One way you could have slowed the New Orleans Saints down yesterday is by slowing the game down, by running. We were scoring points. They just scoring touchdowns. At halftime, it was a 2-score game. That's plenty of time. We were scoring. We just need to score a touchdown. We need a big play. He just don't, even if you get, I don't care. Man, look, we were saying the same thing when they had a younger Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard. We were begging them to run in. That was with Kellen Moore running the show. They just don't run the ball. It ain't just started with Mike McCarthy. This all goes all the way back to the Jason Garrett days. We don't run the ball enough to be physical. And the schedule, again, calls for us, a finesse football team. We're not going to win, I'm telling y'all. That we're not going to win. When you look at what we got coming up, look, if we play finesse ball against Baltimore, let me just go on skip and just go on say it. If we play finesse ball against Baltimore, we're going to get ran out the building again. Because you know what Baltimore finna do, right? You think they finna line up Lamar Jackson and let him throw 40 times next week? No, sir. We can't stop the run. Okay, here come Henry. Here come Lamar. Here come the Hill. That's the backup to Derrick Henry. Justice Hill. Here come the 2 tight end sets. Y'all can't stop the run. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here come Mr. Henry. Here come Lamar. Here comes the Hill. Whoever else they got. I assure you, they are going to run the ball, and you're going to have to match physicality. So I don't, and unfortunately, y'all, I'm sorry. Like I said, it has to be in you, okay? It has to be in you. And you just don't develop that in a week. It has to already be in you. See, we got about an 8-year problem. Before we can't stop the run. We got about an 8-year problem. We still got the same questions. Who look, this is why I'm very disappointed. It's not that we lost, it's how we lost. That's my problem. It's not that we lost. I expect us to go undefeated. But it's how we lost the game is what's destroying me. And it showed his ugly face already. The same way that we lost last year. Same way we played 49ers. We just got bullied and whipped. It was no question who the better team was. It wasn't even a close game. And if that don't get fixed, start to get fixed now, I mean, we in for a long ride this year. It ain't even a question mark to me. We still got the same questions. Who do we have at defensive tackle? That's been the question for the last 9-10 years. Who can stop the run and who can do it up the middle? That's what we've been asking for the last 10 years, 9-10 years. Same questions. Who do we have as a number 2 wide receiver? Same questions. Same questions. We got CeeDee Lamb. They took Lamb out the game, even though he had that one big play. They get that, the one touchdown he had. Once you take him out the game, who's stepping up? Jake Ferguson gone. Jake Ferguson is gone. It ain't Schoonmaker. Okay, we know that. Okay, so is it Brandon Cooks? No, Brandon Cooks is looking like a possession receiver. All the speed that he got, you really can't tell. All he doing is just run a little curl route and look like he don't want to get hit. That's what he does. I'm not knocking Brandon because I think he's pretty good. He's just not a difference maker. So if this is what we're walking out with, then our passing game, y'all notice our passing game. Even when we got behind, Mike McCarthy kept calling plays that the passes are east and west. Nothing really downfield. Y'all notice that? Little side passes and hope somebody break a tackle and, almost kind of like a bubble screen type thing. Nothing down the field. I ain't hardly see the world famous slant route we usually run a lot. I didn't even see that yesterday. All I see is stuff that's going to the sideline, east, west, nothing in the middle, nothing at all. I mean, and the one he did throw, it got picked off. What's up, Justin? I see you. And then you got some solutions there, but you don't put them out there. Just like William just said. You don't have nothing to stretch the field. You got it so compact. They didn't do nothing but drop back. They only rushed 4. So there wasn't no windows there. Nobody could get open. You stretch it out. Let Turpin just run down the field. They got to respect it. So if you're looking for some solutions, here's my solution, number 1. I got 2. Can't get no worse, so let's just go ahead and go. I don't know how familiar Dalvin Cook is with the playbook, but whatever he has as far as knowledge about the playbook, let him play. You got to establish some type of threat on the run. I don't know what Dalvin Cook has. I don't know what he brings. I don't know. We ain't seen it. Go ahead. Bring him in. Number 2, Ryan Flournoy needs to play. He's explosive. He's fast. And I believe he can do some damage. I ain't saying you're supposed to start him over Cooks, but you need to have him in the game. That's the only 2 I can come with offensively. You gotta bring some explosiveness to this offense. I know y'all like Deuce. I at this point, I bring Dalvin in. Let's see what he got. Let's see if he still got a little explosion in his step. He can break tackles. We gotta try something, because if this is what we're going to do, this ain't gonna work. I'm just saying. And don't get me wrong, I still say the Cowboys are going to win a whole lot of games. I think they can. But in crunch time, when you have to go head up with these physical teams, and we're loaded with them. We're loaded playing physical teams. So when we're playing these physical teams, You got to start asking yourself the question, can we keep up? Can we match it? Can we match it? I don't know. I mean, let me go through it again, y'all. Based off what you saw yesterday, and I know it's week to week. Who knows? The Cowboys may come out and beat the Ravens' brains out. Who knows? I doubt it, but it can happen. Look who we playing, y'all, and we still talking about physicality. Okay, then look who we playing. Sunday, the Ravens. The following week, we go to the Giants, and they have a physical defense. Then you go to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Pittsburgh is a Mike Tomlin-led team. That's physical. That's going to be physical. Then the Detroit Lions come to Dallas. That's physical. Then we got the bye week, and then we go to San Francisco. And you really believe out of those games I just called? I ain't even got to after that, all the games we got after that. I'm just going with just to the bye week. And you really believe that the finesse style is going to get it done? No, you got to find some strength. You're going to have to find some physicality real quick. Because if you don't, according to what I'm looking at, the game that people had in question was Cleveland. So, consider that a steal win. A lot of people had Cleveland beating us. A lot of us had the Saints, us beating the Saints. When we got to Baltimore, most people ain't picking Dallas to beat Baltimore. Many people probably going to pick us to beat the Giants. The Pittsburgh game probably going to be a toss-up. And there's going to be a lot of people picking the Detroit Lions to beat us. And then, of course, after the bye week, everybody going to pick San Francisco to beat us. So what I just named, 2 wins coming out the bye week? I mean, we're going to have to find some physicality fast, and I don't think you can find it. I think that the game plan with Dallas this year, we trapped, to be honest with you, because when it's time to play a physical ball game, we can't really get it done. Not to me. And you brought in Ezekiel Elliott back, who has some physicality, but his best physicality is going to be on 3rd and short. His best is going to be inside the 5-yard line. But what about from the 20 to the 20? Can Rico Dow get some explosive runs? Can Dalvin Cook, when he finally plays, can he open this thing up? If Deuce comes in, I don't know about him. I'm sorry. I don't know. We got to find it. So here's the game plan. Same game plan from last year. We better score. That's game plan right there. We better jump on teams the same way we did last year. We better jump on them. We better score. That's why we keep getting the ball first. We better score. That's the only way I see it really happening, where we can take a team out of their game plan and make it happen. And the Cowboys are very capable of doing that. The reason why is because I've seen it for the last 3 years. So I know they can score. That's the only way that I see us really just, getting it back. Because we got to get into a muddy, beat 'em up football type game. That ain't what we built for. I'm sorry. I done seen it too many times now. So I'm not even gonna even act like I believe that we just gonna say, okay, it's gonna be a grinded out football game. It's gonna be a slugfest. It's gonna be a get in the phone booth type game where you just hit. You got to move your man. That ain't Dallas Cowboys. We're not a grinded out football team. We just not. And don't get me wrong. Here's the funny part, y'all. What I'm talking about is statistically is the number 1 offense in the league, which has been the Dallas Cowboys for years. If they hadn't been the number 1 offense, they've been in the top 2 or 3. That go all the way back to the Kellen Moore days. The Cowboys are consistently in the top 5 in offense every year. And it's been mainly, obviously, because of our quarterback. Huh? Well, Kermit, here's the part, and I see what you're saying. Kermit, you're right. There wasn't no explosive last year, but they got some explosive players on the team. They just ain't played. I'm trying to figure out what they're waiting for Dalvin Cook for. What you waiting on? What are you waiting on? What you waiting on? Him to make the playoffs? You got to make the playoffs first. I mean, good Lord, what is he? Is he hurt? What he don't know all the plays? He got to know some plays. Let him play his package. Let teams do it all the time. If all he know is 4 or 5 plays, let him come in and run his 4 or 5 plays. It's just as simple. Why is Dalvin Cook not been activated? Is he in shape? Is he not in football shape? What is the problem? Look, you got to find out. You got to switch something up. You got to switch something up. You're wasting time. Zeke Elliott is not gonna break no 60-yard run. He just not. He gonna get you 5. He might get you 6 one time, but primarily gonna be between that 3 and 4 yard, and that's it. And I'm not saying that's not good, because that is effective running, but he's not. Nobody ain't scared of Ezekiel Elliott no more. Especially when you try to get him outside, he ain't fast enough no more. He can't run no stretch play with Ezekiel Elliott. Common sense. You can run a stretch play with Rico. I'm just saying, we better jump on folks. We better jump on them. Try to take them out of the game. Try to make them one-dimensional. Because if you let this train get started with Henry and Lamar, please don't forget Lamar. Can you imagine the zone reads that are going to happen because of this? And a team, Baltimore, already know that Dallas cannot stop the run. That's what they keep showing. You know, we took Cleveland out of the running game by the way we were beating them. We turned them into a one-dimensional team. But for the teams that have been close, all you got to do is look at it. You just take that same game plan, the San Francisco game plan, the Green Bay game plan, the Buffalo game plan. Just run that game plan. You're going to kill the Cowboys. But it's another thing that it's not another thing. It's been there all the time. The Cowboys are horrible against motion teams. I mean, we struggle for real. That's what the tape also showed. I mean, but we've been knowing it, but it seemed like we ought to be better. Especially when you know who their coordinator is, and you know that's what he does. You should have been a little bit better prepared. You know, it especially when you know what they do. And that is what that's the example that you put on this field yesterday. When you knew that they run motion, I mean, everything was wide open. They actually toyed with us. No attitude, no fire, no nothing. Just out there. And I'm telling y'all, when y'all look at the schedule, right at the bye week, and you see who we playing, and the 49ers are right after the bye week. I mean, and we can't stop the run. And we going against teams, playoff teams from last year that dedicate themselves to the run. Detroit got 2 running backs. Y'all, Montgomery and Gibbs. Baltimore, of course, they got 2 running backs. They really got 3: Justice Hill, Derrick Henry, and Lamar Jackson. That's 3 running backs. The Giants, they got Singletary. But I mean, if you can't stop the run, you'll make an ordinary team look like they the best team in the world. And you already know everybody get a Dallas Cowboys their best shot. So, I mean, Singletary can run the ball from the Giants. Don't sleep on him. The Pittsburgh Steelers, Najee Harris. Then they got the kid Warren behind him. Then you got Justin Fields. You got Justin Fields right there too. Justin Fields right there. That's 3 running backs. Come on, y'all. McCaffrey from the McCaffrey may not be ready to play against us. But y'all saw who the backup running back was, right? Mason. Y'all saw how he destroyed them guys in week 1. He'll be out there. They got 2 running backs, Debo, Mason. And if McCaffrey comes back by that time, there's 3. And if you ain't been able to stop the run, if you don't get some attitude real quick, man, we gonna be saying the same thing every week. You're gonna look at the stats and it's gonna say the Cowboys are the worst rush defense in the league. I mean, something got to happen. We ain't trading for nobody. Y'all know that. I mean, before y'all throw that up and y'all didn't even put it in the chat, but y'all know that ain't gonna happen. I will say this, and I play the role here. I wish that the Cowboys would make a serious run at a number 2 wide receiver. I think that can happen. See, you're blind if you think Brandon Cooks is the answer. It's not gonna happen. If you think that Jalen Tolbert is the answer, you're sadly mistaken. Not that these guys are bad, it's just that you don't see that. I'm talking about go get a legit number 2/number 1 receiver who can play number 2. In other words, go give me another number 1 wide receiver. And there is somebody out there that I think, when it's all said and done, is going to be on the trading block. I ain't going to say on the trading block, but I think that somebody's going to go after him. And I may be just reaching for the stars here. And I know I am. Because this won't be a Dallas-type move. But I'm just throwing it out there. Davante Adams is not going to be in a Raider uniform the whole season. I just don't see it. I believe, William Kidd, you're already there. See, you right there. See, I just feel like the Jets are going to go after him. Oh, I know they're not, Shane. I'm just trying to improve the team right now before it go down the drain. See, some players can come in and can take up and make up for a lot of mistakes that you made. A guy like Davante Adams is one. Automatic respect. Automatic double team. You put him with CD, who you gonna double team? One of them gonna be wide one-on-one. Can't do that. And then you got Jake Ferguson in the middle. You give me Adams, Lamb, Jake Ferguson, I'm going to say, let's go play football. That's what I'm going to say. It will open up the running game because you can't bring everybody down. One man can change a whole offense. That's what a Davante Adams would do. And the only reason why I threw it up is because Davante Adams is not happy. And I believe that the Jets, because Aaron Rodgers is there, I wouldn't be surprised. He might, you know what I'm saying? These guys, I believe somebody going to go after him. Imagine Dak Prescott with a Davante Adams and a CeeDee Lamb on his team. Just imagine. And watch this. Give me the same running backs. but give me Devontae Adams. Give me the same Ezekiel Elliott, Rico, Deuce. You ain't got to change nothing. Just give me that. And just but put Devontae Adams out there. Watch how everything would change. I know I'm full. I know I'm shooting for fool's gold, but I really Devontae. Here's all the facts. I don't care what he did yesterday. I understand he had a good game yesterday, but Devontae Adams is not happy. Everybody knows it. Aaron Rodgers would love to play with Devontae Adams again, and I'm quite sure Devontae Adams would love to play with Aaron Rodgers. Well, why we got to limit it just to the Jets? I bet you Devontae Adams wouldn't mind playing with Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. I think he would smile all the way. His smile will go all the way from California to Texas. I believe that. If he had a chance to come to the Cowboys, I'm saying we got to do something, because Brandon Cooks is turning into a possession receiver. He's not trying to score. He's just trying to catch the ball and get down. He ain't good running after the catch. He still can catch the ball. He's just not that type of receiver anymore. And you can see it. I don't think Jalen Tolbert is the answer. I think he's a complimentary receiver. The jury's still out about Flournoy. I think he needs to get on the field so we can start seeing something. You got to switch it up. But if you want to hit a home run, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. I got one more name I want to throw out. A little older, but I think he's still effective. And with the right team, he can work. You really believe that DeAndre Hopkins is happy in Tennessee? Now, I already know his contract. I get it. But can you imagine a guy like DeAndre Hopkins? No, Shane, I agree. Sometime when you get a guy in his prime, the price supposed to be high. And when you think you're trying to win the Super Bowl, as you say, sometimes you got to sacrifice. The window is closing. I'm just saying, DeAndre Hopkins would work here. Guys that want to win. So the price tag would not be as high for DeAndre Hopkins as it would be for a Devontae Adams. I'll give you that. So I'm saying, since the Cowboys are cheap, go get DeAndre Hopkins. Put him with CD. Put DeAndre Hopkins with Jake Ferguson. I understand that, Regina. I understand that. But what I'm saying is, you have to, if you don't have a defense, okay? When we have a defense, it just shows up in bad games like yesterday. You got to keep in mind, we won 12 games 3 straight years. So I can't say we don't have a defense, 12-5. It just, when we lose, it's so spectacular. When the Cowboys lose, it's like we done jumped off a cliff and we ain't good no more and all that. I'm not even finna fall into that. We were 12-5 the last 3 years. Got to have a good defense to go 12-5. I know yesterday was horrible, without a doubt. But this is what I'm saying about if we go get stuff like that. So you got to strengthen your strength. Your strength is your all-pro quarterback, your all-pro wide receiver. You got all-pro linemen on there. Strengthen the offense. You got a Pro Bowl tight end. Strengthen the strength. Make it hard on defensive coordinators by loading up the gun, if you let me say that. Load up the bullets. Load it up. I'm already seeing it, man. It's going to be, we see the way that we're going, the way we play football right now, it's going to have to be a grind. What's up, West Coast? I see you, brother. Thanks for popping in. It's going to have to be a grind. We're not an explosive football team. The only explosive guy we got is CD. That's it. Everybody else is grinding. You ain't. We need some. We need some explosion on this team. I said that at the beginning of the year. Cause see, if you get behind, you gonna have to get it. You gonna have to play explosive to get back in the game. And our team ain't built for explosion. It's just not. It's just not. So I say let's go get it. I'm saying those two names right there will open everything. I know that's just wishful thinking, but I just wasted about a good 10 minutes on wishful thinking, but I think that's worth talking about. Because, as I said, Brandon Cooks, God bless him. It's just not, I'm not, well, here's the thing, Leon, and I agree with you, but you don't put them on the field enough. You see, some of this stuff can be done by just using a decoy. Turpin speed can run off people. You don't even put them on the field. You're lining up. Listen to me. When you line up our three best receivers, so they say, CD, Turpin, CD, Tolbert, and Cooks. To me, you putting out almost the same receiver except for the CD. As I just said, Cooks is fast, but they're not utilizing the speed properly. He's turned into a possession receiver. So that's what all Tolbert is. So I got two of the same thing out there. I'm not saying you can't move the ball with that. You can. But if your only explosion is CD, you need more than that. When you throw in Ferguson, that's three possession type guys with one explosive guy. That's CD. You know, I want some explosion on for my wide receivers. And I agree with you, Shane. That's wishful thinking that I sound like the Cowboy fans in the off season when I'm talking like this. You're absolutely right. I know it's not gonna happen. That's not the Jerry Jones way. It's definitely not the Stephen Jones way. Trust me, I already know about that. But I see it. I'm not saying see Devontae or DeAndre here. I'm saying I'm seeing what we have, and I'm saying we're not built for explosion, which means you're gonna have problems when you get behind in the scoreboard. If you go down 10 to 14, you're gonna have a rough time because we're not built like that. We're a long drive, time-consuming type offense. We're not explosive at all. We are definitely a 13, 14 drive type offense. We can do that. I'm looking for the 6-play drives. I'm looking for the 7-play drives. That's what I'm looking for. And I'm saying other than CD, nobody can give it to us. I need a threat out there. And as far as, hey, Joe, as far as our running game goes, y'all, you know, I said it earlier for those that came in, you know, what's wrong? Somebody got to tell me what's wrong with Dalvin Cook. Why is he still not activated? Why is he, what, I mean, come on now. By now, he knows at least 10 plays. By now, he got to know at least 10 plays. Now, if you gonna tell me that he don't have it no more, kind of like the way they drafted Martavius Bryant, you know, never made the field. Everybody was excited about him. I thought it was. You found out he just didn't have it no more. Now, if you gonna tell me Dalvin Cook don't have it no more, then I understand. But if Dalvin Cook got it, if he still has something in the tank, if he still, you know what I'm saying, something, good God, man. What are we waiting on? What we waiting on? I got it, Leon. Leon, I like what you're saying. However, I got a little pushback on that. And you may be absolutely right, Leon. But here's my pushback. I'm seeing already that the way we're gonna win is the same way that we won last year and the year before that. We gotta jump on people and get them out of their game plan and make them one-dimensional. The only way you're gonna do that unless you blow people out the water, like we were doing last year. Then the pass rush can get crazy. Then here we come. That's what I'm saying. Because if we have to get into this slow, well, maybe not slow, but if we got to get into this knockdown, slugfest, drag out football game, we're not physical enough. That's what I'm saying. That's the way the Cowboys won all last year. They jumped on people, they blew them out of the water, and then you made them one-dimensional, and then the defense knew what you were doing, and we can rush the passer, we can pick our balls because we knew it was coming. What happens when you don't know when it's not coming? What happens when you don't know what's coming? When the play-action game against another team is working, like it did yesterday. See, when a team jump on us, we ain't built for coming back. When we have to get into a knockdown, slug-out football game, we ain't built for that. We ain't physical enough. We don't run the plays to be physical. We don't run the ball enough to be physical. So the way I see that we're going to win is the way we've been winning the last few years. Jump on them, blow them out, and let the dogs hunt on defense. That's what I'm saying. That's how we beat Cleveland. We jumped on them, we got on them, turned them into a one-dimensional team, and ripped them apart. That's what I'm saying. Same formula. But what happened when you play a Baltimore Ravens game? When you know they're going to run the ball a lot, and you're going to have to stop them in order to keep the scoreboard from lighting you up again, you're going to have to stop them. And if you ain't playing physical defense, kind of like Regina said, it ain't going to matter what you do. If you can't stop the run, that's fine. But what happens if Baltimore jumps up 14-0? If you're an honest Cowboy fan, you are if it's the first quarter and it's 14-0, you already starting to feel real iffy because you know we're not a comeback type football team. William said, do you think McCarthy's offense is predictable? I do. Cadence, here we go, is predictable. Well, in fairness, William, even if you say it's predictable, even with the cadence, here we go, they still was the number one offense in the league. So that's my only pushback to your question. Like, if it's so predictable, how come they the number one offense in the league? That's my only pushback. Is it predictable? Formation wise, you can just about tell what we're getting ready to do by formation. I'll give you that, but when Dak lines up in the shotgun, 9 times out of 10 he passes. He might run it up the middle, not Dak, but hand it off and Zeke go up the middle or whoever, go that route. But Sleeve says, good evening. Our defensive line will bring it to Baltimore this week. They better to lead. If not, we're going to get embarrassed. You think it was bad yesterday. If you can't stop the run this week, Derrick Henry may run for 200 yards this week. Mar may chip in another 75 to 80, maybe 100 himself. Justice Hill behind Derrick Henry may run for about 60 or 70. Jerry Jones, Shane said that Zach Martin was fine. Matter of fact, he got back in the huddle yesterday, even after he got hurt. So he's fine. So the defensive line better show up. See, you can't teach heart. You can't teach passion. You can't teach the want to. You can't teach the physicality. You can't teach that. It's got to be in you. You can't push a button and all of a sudden it show up. That's not how. That's not it. You got to have it in you. And I ain't seen it in the last 7-8 years. To be honest with you, we ain't stopped the run. When teams decide we're gonna run against the Dallas Cowboys, they do it and do it easily. I just ain't seen it. Stopping the running game is a want to, full of energy, passion, playing ticked off. That's how you stop the running game. That's the heart of what I'm talking about. Both be talking about technique and hand placement and gap assignment and all. Yeah, that's part of it too. But the first thing is you gotta want to do it. You gotta want to say, no, you ain't moving me. No, you're not moving. I'm finna, no, I'm finna take you out. Keep trying me. Keep trying me. We're gonna stop the. I don't see it. I don't see it, y'all. I don't see it. But we better see it. I'm just telling y'all. We better see it. I assure you that if it was any week that a team gonna run the ball this week, it's this week right here. The Baltimore Ravens will be running the football this week. William Kill said, can we win the division if we can't stop the run? No, because you're going to lose a whole lot of games if you stop the run. Philadelphia's not going to lose a whole lot of games this year like they did last year. They ain't going to have that collapse this year. And not that it's just so much greater. It's just that there's just no way that they're going to repeat what they did last year. No, we can't win the division. We can't stop the run. No. I mean, all you got to do is look at the schedule. Just go all the way down. See, I ain't got to the other half of the season where we have to play Philadelphia twice. Got to play Washington twice. Got to play the Houston Texans. Y'all saw them last night. Know how physical they are. You know what I'm saying? We got to play the Falcons. Same team you're looking at right now. Got to play the Falcons. And please don't underestimate the other fact about the Dallas Cowboys. It is amazing to me every year that whoever plays the Cowboys, they always seem to play one of their best games. Arizona ran a couple years ago 240 yards against us. They ain't won another game the rest of the season almost. Buffalo ain't ran the ball like that never. Buffalo whooped us so bad. How many times Josh Allen threw the ball last year against us? I think it was 11 times in a whole game. When was the last time Josh Allen threw the ball 11 times in the game? Come on, man. That just show you how dominant they were running the ball against us. San Francisco couldn't do no wrong last season when we went to San Francisco for the regular season game, which they blowed us completely out the water. They couldn't, just a perfect game. Just totally not. Everybody played their best game against the Cowboys. That's what you saw yesterday. I guarantee you the Saints won't never again this season score 5 consecutive touchdowns. It just ain't going to happen. It's not. It won't look like that. They played their Super Bowl last week. But see, when you get these teams, there ain't no excuse. You gotta match it. You gotta match it. I don't know if we can. They got to show me. See, I ain't going off no hope and all that. Coach Talib said, I think Zimmer will light a fire under these guys these weeks. The Cowboys have been pretty good coming off a loss. That is absolutely true, Talib. They have. They always come back strong after loss. We'll see. But this team that we got coming in here Sunday is the greatest threat to their Achilles heel. And that's a team that can run the football. And then we ain't even talking about Lamar Jackson, who's a problem all by himself. I mean, who can destroy you by him? You know, he's just another whole element. This is where Trey Lance will be big for us this week. Trey is not Lamar Jackson, but I'm quite sure he's going to play Lamar Jackson in practice this week. This is where his value is going to come in. Y'all want to know the value of Trey Lance? Is this week and next week and the following week. Because here are the three quarterbacks we're playing consecutively. Lamar Jackson, Daniel Jones, and then Justin Fields. All three of them run the ball. All three quarterbacks run the football. Justin Fields is just like Lamar. I ain't saying he's good as Lamar, but we all know he's incredibly dangerous when he run the ball. Got to get ready. This is where Trey Lance will come into play. He gets to play all three of them. Hopefully he'll help us out this week. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm done, to be honest with you. That's my last looking at the Saints. Hey, I'm just like the Cowboys. I'm turning the page. Got to figure out how we're going to take care of the Baltimore Ravens on Saturday, if not earlier. I will come and I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna watch a little film on the Baltimore, and just see it. I know they're gonna run the ball, but I want to see how they're gonna run it. You know, one thing about Henry, he's never been. He's never been, you know, just like a real speedy guy, but he's got deceptive speed. He still can run past you. But what he is, and is better than anybody else, is that it's just so hard to bring him down. And he always fall forward. And once that train get to rolling, buddy, it's a problem. So I was kind of anxious to see how you're going to run him from the zone read type concept. Obviously, he's going to line up around a 2 tight end set and single back. I mean, that's just Derrick Henry. Folks been trying to figure out how to stop him for years, so you know it's rare that when you can stop him. And I don't know if we really can. We just got to be able to control him. Lamar scares me more than Derrick Henry. Because when that fake go out, if you biting, because you're going to have some guys going to run to Henry, and you're going to leave that little mesh point, and then you're going to pull it out, and then he's going to roll. And I'm wondering if there's anybody going to be there. And I'm going to close, but can somebody just help me? What? I'm still messed up. And they didn't ask Zimmer this today. Why DeMar and Overshawn only played 17 snaps? I don't understand it. I'm you know, unless you tell me he got into the doghouse of Mike Zimmer after he led the team in tackles against Cleveland. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of, because he's not hurt and he's such an explosive player. I don't understand why he was not on the field. I just don't understand it. 17 plays, that's it? I don't get it. He got to be on the field this week. Because, see, y'all already know we got to play the spy game this week. Somebody got to be the spy for Lamar Jackson. Overshawn should be a candidate for that. Michael Parsons, I guess, might be one. But pick your choice. I'm just saying, Overshawn need to be playing, man. He should have played this week. I see what you're saying, Karam. I don't know what happened. You might be right. Wrong. Maybe they were drinking out there. They're back at home. I don't know. Ron said they were hung over the night before they were sleeping. Somebody got to explain to me. Something happened. I don't know what it was. Oh, I don't know. That what we saw yesterday, that cannot happen again. Because if it does, it's gonna be another blowout. And we're gonna be on the wrong side of it. That's the way I see it. All right. I appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for y'all coming in. I know that I think most of you were with West Coast, and I believe Henny. And I know they know where in the world y'all gonna watch 2 back-to-back shows for a couple hours. That's almost like 3 hours together. So I understand. But maybe we need to combine all 3 of us. I don't know. At least coming up. I don't like going on when my brothers are on. And they were on before me. It's just that my time is at 7:00. So I don't know exactly what time they came on, but it was well before I started. I think they were on maybe about a good hour before me. Something like that. But my time is 7:00, so I had to come on there. I just I just don't like I don't like that. Nothing on their part, obviously. It's just I don't like that because it's just kind of hard to have people not gonna sit on their phones and computer for 3 straight hours. It's just not gonna happen. And I'm too old to be trying to stay up. I'm tired. So I ain't gonna change my time. I don't want to go on at 8:00. I might be talking to y'all, then all of a sudden I do this right here. Because I can't be on that late like that. So I appreciate y'all, man. Hey, we gonna see. One thing that ought to be happening for sure in that locker room, the Cowboy locker room. One thing ought to be for sure. Somebody ought to be ticked off. That's all I'm gonna say. I know they're giving all these professional answers to the reporters and all that, but somebody ought to be ticked off. And if you're ticked off, I want to see them play like it. Energy. Somebody on that team ought to be ticked off. Somebody on that defense ought to be ticked off. At that part, I believe. Because they saw the film today. I know they got cussed out. Somebody, at least they should have. Somebody ought to be not. And if Zimmer is what everybody say he is, I'm quite sure Zimmer went off a little bit today. Somebody ought to be ticked off. Somebody ought to be a little edgy. Somebody ought to be real irritated right now. Somebody should. And if they're not irritated, then we gonna be wasting time. I'm just saying, it's just the truth. We gotta go to work, man. The schedule don't give us no rest. The schedule gives us no rest. Gotta lick your wounds quick, put some Band-Aids on it. You gotta be right back out there Sunday. Another racehorse team is coming. We ain't got time to cry and groan and moan and all that. The Baltimore Ravens will be here Sunday. And this is the reason why you better come with you. They're desperate. By now, they're 0-2. They ain't won a game this year. You really believe, everybody believe Baltimore's supposed to be this team. You don't think they don't want to show up? They're gonna be playing ticked off too. You don't think they want to start off 0-3? Oh no. The Baltimore Ravens are coming to town ticked off. Because they don't think they should be 0-2. You really believe they thought they were supposed to lose at home yesterday to the Raiders and Gardner Minshew? Really? Oh, okay. That's why we better come strapped up. You got a ticked off, focused team. It's coming to Dallas saying we finna take these guys out. We ain't finna be 0-3. You got the MVP of the league. No. You better be ready to go. That's why I say they ought to be ticked off. Cowboys should be. It's gonna be a very fun game. It is a big game Sunday. I mean, it is turning into each day go by. Baltimore ain't won a game. Nobody expected them to be on 2. Cowboys, embarrassing. They 1-1. Don't need to go 1-2. It is going to be a huge game Sunday. I believe it's gonna be the marquee game Sunday again. We better show up. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, I'm done, y'all. Appreciate y'all for hanging with me. Again, we'll try it again later this week, possibly, and if not, definitely Saturday at 3:00. Appreciate all of y'all hanging with me. Thanks for the likes. Everybody hit the like button for me as you leave real quick. Give me about 20 likes. If you don't mind, just smash it real quick. It's gonna take you but a few seconds. And we'll see you on Saturday. Thanks again for coming to hang with your boy. And we'll see you again for the one and the only. This has been the Big Time Show.